Theater 5 presents Miss Joan Lovejoy in The Lion Who Wasn't There.
Monica, what kept you?
What do you suppose? Jeff.
I'm well fed up with that husband of yours.
How do you think I feel? I've been with him for years.
There's nothing we can do.
Yes, there is. You're the best rifle shot in Africa.
Oh, no, you don't, my girl.
There are always accidents, Jeff.
Yes, with possibly a noose waiting at the end.
You want to go on this way? Sneaking off to meet in the jungle?
Oh, that's all we can do. We still have the time on safaris.
Well, we have to be careful. The boring clients and our bookings are few and far between these days.
You're telling me. Ralph must be getting nervous with no cash coming in.
Well, so am I.
Independence. These hard-headed fools. It was going to be a piece of cake for everyone when the Europeans moved out. I could have told them.
Well, go on.
Go on about what? I'll be as big a bore as Ralph. Great white hunter sniveling about the loss of his continent.
You know, all Ralph cares about is me, and...
And?
And all I care about is you, Jeff. That's the life I want, Jeff. With you.
You paint a pretty picture.
Well, it could be. But... Oh, I know what Africa means to you, Jeff. Nights like this, with the sky and stars so close they seem to press right down on you. The light, the air, the life. I fell in love with it the first time I saw it.
I thought I had something to do with it.
You did. Because you were Africa. The best part of it.
It's not what it used to be.
Then you would leave?
Oh, you're raving, Monica. Sure you didn't get a touch of sun today?
There's a way, Jeff. I've thought of a way, but you could never come back. You'd lose Africa, but you'd have me. Would I be enough, Jeff? Oh, you're hurting me.
I just want to give you my answer. You can't fool me, girl. You're waiting for me to ask you what you were thinking.
You've heard about the rebels in Wasson Kilo.
Another try at a tiny power grab by some tribal chief.
It's not tiny, Jeff, darling. Not tiny at all. Kilo has a gold refinery. The rebels have it. They're shipping out tons of gold for arms and ammunition.
Now, you're not suggesting that we get out of the safari business and go into gun running?
Think like a hunter. Think of going after big game.
Sorry, I'm not with you.
How are they going to get the gold out?
My guess would be north through the Sudan, maybe even ship it on the Nile.
First, it has to reach the Nile. They can't get it to Mombasa or Dar es Salaam because they go through government territory.
You've been looking at a map.
No, wait. Now, listen. What do you think each shipment is worth?
Oh, about $2 or $3 million a ton.
Yes. Why not intercept a shipment?
Is this your big plan? Your way out for us?
Stop it.
Oh, come off it, Monica. What's wrong with the laugh?
You're laughing before you've heard me out.
You're really serious?
Yes. I have it all worked out.
Well, we started this evening with murder. At any rate, this is a change.
Not a radical change.
No, I'm not laughing now, Monica, but I'm not buying. I'm listening.
All right. You're going on a safari. The last safari.
To Kilo. That's way over in the motor complex. And what'll we tell our clients?
There will be no clients.
There'd be questions like what are Monica Lawrence Safaris Limited doing on a safari without any clients?
You're going on a special assignment. After a man-eating lion.
Oh, man-eating lion.
Oh, stop it, you hyena.
I'm sorry, Monica, my love, but there hasn't been a man-eating lion in Kenya for at least 6 years.
But suppose some gun bearers and native guides swore that they'd seen one, a terrifying one. A guide like, Miamba, for instance. How long has he been with you?
Oh, a long time.
And he'll do anything you ask.
Well, yes.
Without asking questions.
Yes.
I'll convince Ralph we're doing it for publicity. For Monica Lawrence Safaris. Everyone knows business isn't bad.
You intend to let Ralph in on this? I can tell you right now
He'd never do it. I know that. But we can convince Ralph there really is a man-eating lion.
Well, I suppose I could get a rumor going. But then what?
Then you could go as far as you like, tracking this man-eater. Even as far as Kilo.
Well, fine. We're in Kilo. You think those gold shipments won't be protected?
How many natives would you trust with a gold shipment?
Oh, very few, but there are always a handful of fanatics who really believe that they're fighting for a cause, for something that means something.
Of course, a handful. They'll be armed.
Well, they're the worst marksmen in the world.
How many men would you need to get that shipment? Men who can handle rifles.
Oh, I could do it with 5.
Surely you know 5 men here. Men like yourself who are fed up would be happy to go along with us for $20,000 apiece.
Monica, it might just work.
And who's going to come after you? The rebels are outlaws. They complain to the government will laugh at them.
And there's always a market for gold.
Always.
$2 million. Oh, that's big game, all right.
There's, one other thing.
Yes?
Ralph will be along.
Ralph's never gone on a safari.
He'll go this time. And remember, the natives are miserable shots.
But, Monica, he'll...
It's up to me, Jeff, to get Ralph to go. It's up to me to make him believe you're after a man-eater. And after that, it's up to you. But remember, if you want the $2 million and me, something better happen to him, Jeff. Something final.
Monica, I don't see why I have to go along on this foolish safari.
Because it's going to be good for business.
The best thing for us to do would be to forget about this business and go back to America.
Back to Kansas and farming.
Well, that's a business I know.
Have you been so unhappy in Nairobi, Ralph?
No, because it was wonderful to see how happy you were. Tourists weren't afraid and business was good, but now with all this trouble...
Well, that's why we're doing this, to help business.
Well, there's no sense to it.
Ralph, you've never understood the value of publicity. Remember how you grumbled about going on that television show in New York when we were just starting? And remember how it helped us?
Oh, but this is entirely different. I can't even shoot.
Well, no one has to know which one of you shot the lion.
If there is a lion.
Well, everyone's talking about it.
I know,
It will
but-
get in the papers, and they'll pick it up back in the States. We'll see to that. And Monica Lawrence Safaris will get the credit for bagging this man-eater. And it'll be so much better if you're in the picture.
Well, before, it was always better when you were alone.
That was before possible clients were worried. Now they'll feel safer if they know that Monica Lawrence Safaris has a man in charge. A real strong man who's afraid of nothing.
Is that the way you see me, Monica?
Well, no, not exactly.
How then?
As my husband. A man who makes me happy.
You haven't been happy lately.
I'm sorry. But that's all going to change. Honestly, I'm sorry about what's been going on between us lately, but you know how I love this country, and I was afraid we'd have to leave.
Now, I know you love Africa.
Ralph, I'll make you a promise. If this doesn't work out, I'll go back to America with you.
Monica. You really mean that? I can tell.
And before you leave tomorrow morning, I defy you to say I don't love you.
Now, don't forget, I'll take the driver of the first jeep. You men, pick your targets and make every shot count.
Come back, you gutless fools! Take cover and fight! Come!
Monica!
Jeff?
It was roses all the way, not a thorn.
Oh, Jeff, I was so worried. Hold me. Oh. What about the gold?
Safely hidden, just waiting to be picked up.
Oh, Jeff, I'm bursting. I'm so happy. I want to do everything I shouldn't. Go up on the roof and shout, turn on the radio and dance.
That comes later.
Oh, I know.
I don't mean to complain, but isn't the hostess forgetting something?
Oh, they're all made just the way you like, stinging cold. You can't beat perfection, and that's what we have now. And it was worth waiting for. Well, here's to you, darling.
To us?
To us. Jeff, I hate to ask, but was it...
He didn't feel a thing.
I'm glad.
You know, I was worried for a while. He was a nuisance after the second day, always wanting to know why we were going so far and where was the lion.
Oh, I know it wasn't easy.
I put him off. And then when we reached the trail, I had him right alongside of me.
But did he ever know?
That there wasn't a lion? I wish you hadn't asked me. Maybe. I'm not sure. But he never knew what we were really after. And he never knew what happened. The martinis are getting warm. To us, darling.
To us.
And to me. I would be grateful if you'd pour me one. It was quite dusty on the veldt.
Who are you?
I believe your friend, Mr. Jeff, knows me.
Permit me to introduce Colonel M'Boku.
Aide to Musa Salam, leader of the rebel forces at Kilo. I was in charge of the gold shipment. This martini is excellent.
You're in trouble here in Nairobi, Colonel. But if you leave quietly, I won't report you to the police.
Yes, excellent. Cold and dry.
Thank you. But if I were you, Colonel, I'd take Mr. Jeff's advice and get out.
No doubt. There was one bad shot in that ambush. It is your misfortune that I was the target. You would have been so much better off if I'd been killed and someone else wounded.
That shoulder looks pretty bad. You should have it attended to.
It looks worse than it is.
You get out of here or I'll call the police.
Put that telephone down. I advise you, Mrs. Lawrence, if you're wise, you'll put it down.
Hang up, Monica.
I think, Mrs. Lawrence, that Mr. Jeff was trying to tell you that if you start to bluff, you should go through with it, but it does not matter. The value of the gold shipment was about 900,000 pounds, or, as you would say, $2.5 million. I want 450,000 pounds.
You or Musa Salam?
I'm a practical man.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Musa Salam sees himself as dealing as an equal with the world powers who have exploited Africa. He dreams of sitting at a table in the United Nations in Western dress and being listened to respectfully. I had more than I want of that during my years at Oxford, but we're wasting time. Let's talk about us.
Jeff, I don't understand you. How can you let him sit there and talk like this?
Be quiet, Monica.
A bullet from a .375 Magnum rifle. You use a .375, I believe, Mr. Jeff?
So do a lot of other people.
Quite. But this bullet I extracted from your dead husband, Mrs. Lawrence. Would you care to have the police compare it with other bullets fired from your rifle, Mr. Jeff?
Mr. Jeff could have lost his rifle.
Oh, it won't do, Mrs. Lawrence. It really won't do. None of my men were equipped with .375s.
Another martini, Colonel?
No, thank you. I'm a careful man. And stay where you are, Mr. Jeff. Musa Salam has relatives in Nairobi. I have left a letter with 2 of them. The letter explains everything. It goes to the police if anything happens to me.
Do they know what's in it?
Oh, please, give me some credit. Of course not.
Well, I wouldn't want to see anything happen to our friend Colonel Mboku, would we, Monica?
He's a blackmailing thief.
I'm sure you've made arrangements to sell the gold. There is no lack of buyers, and you know what it's worth. Good night.
Hold on. It'll take us at least a week to sell the stuff. Where are you going to be? Nairobi isn't the safest place in the world for followers of Musa Salam.
I will keep out of sight. I can understand your concern, but Salam's relatives are discreet. And you know how strong blood ties are in Africa.
You'll be staying with them, I suppose.
Oh, please, Mr. Jeff. I know that it would not be difficult for you to locate these people, no. I shall be out of Nairobi, in the jungle, which I know well. Shall we meet here in 10 days?
It seems to be your show.
Indeed. And I'm interested only in £450,000.
Monica, this is a celebration. Drink up.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Think of it. In a few minutes, Smith, or whatever his name is, will walk into this hotel and give us £900,000.
You mean £450,000.
That's the wrong way to think of it, my dear.
What about those letters?
When Mboku shows up, we'll ask him to surrender them.
You think he will?
Why not? He's no fanatic. He'll have what he's after, and we'll still have over $1 million. And a lifetime to spend it in.
And suppose Mboko doesn't give us the letters?
I've thought of that.
And?
I remember sitting in the jungle in the African night, and you're telling me to go after big game. We went after it, darling, and we got it. If Mboku holds on to the letters, we'll pray for his health and enjoy ourselves.
Excuse me, please. And you, Mrs. Lawrence.
Yes?
Will you come with me, please?
With you? Where?
Lieutenant Onobando, Nairobi Police, sir. I ask you not to make a disturbance.
Well, there's no question of a disturbance, but I'm a British subject, Lieutenant, and Mrs. Lawrence is an American. We're entitled to know what all this is about.
It will be explained.
Well, I'm not leaving here. I want to see the American consul.
Perhaps if I mentioned a name, sir, it might help. Colonel Mboku?
Mboku? Why, he can't...
I understand your astonishment. You may not have heard that Colonel Mboku had an accident. A most unusual accident in these days. He was killed by a man-eating lion in the jungle. But also, you see, there was a letter. Now, will you come with me?
Theater 5 has presented The Lion Who Wasn't There, written by Murray Burnett, directed by William Gately. In the cast, Joan Lovejoy, Ralph Camargo, Peter Gerald, Guy Sorrell, and Scott Cunningham. Script editor, Jack C. Wilson. Original music by Alexander Vlastotsenko. Orchestra under the direction of Glenn Osser. Executive producer for Theater 5, Mr. Lee Bowman. We invite your comments. Write to Theater 5, New York 23, New York. That's Theater 5, New York 23, New York. This is Fred Foy speaking. This has been an ABC radio